Joining me in the Room podcast to talk about his main event fight happening at Combat Zone 79. Dana White's looking for a fight is Connor Controller Matthews. What's up, my friend? It's been a minute since we last spoke, bro. How you doing?
Going good, man. Everything's going great. I'm very excited. I got some good stuff, big things happening. So everything's good over here.
Well,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, my man. A pleasure to talk to you and, catch up on all what's going on since your last fight back last August 2022 when you actually did fight in front of Dana White. Man, let's talk about it, man. Man showed a lot of heart in that fight. Dana White even said himself, this could have been a big fight on the UFC feed. Let's talk about it, man, and let's talk about what's been going on, since.
Yeah, that was a big fight. I mean, it was pretty evident. The kid I fought, Francis Marshall, he went on and he got a knockout in the UFC. So I mean, he's UFC caliber. I gave him a war, and I think that was good for me. It was really good that I met that kind of experience and like that. You don't know until you don't know, right? So I had to go against somebody who was that good, so I could see all the things I needed to work on, and fix the things I need to work on, and I feel great. I never felt better because of that fight. I'm happy that I had that. It's like you always want to take the rough side of the mountain. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to take the easy road to get there. So I'm really fortunate and happy that I met a guy like Francis, had a war with him, and reinvented myself, and I'm super fortunate and lucky that I'm actually fighting in front of Dana White again. So I'm super thankful. Honestly, that's what it comes down to.
Excellent. Well, as far as that last fight for the contender series, I mean, you had some superficial, face things going on there. Did you walk away out of that fight with any major injuries?
No major injuries. Just a couple stitches. I mean, that was nothing. Yeah, I feel great. I mean, that was it from that last fight. We took some time off to let my head recover, just for safety. We only got one head. Just try to protect it. I try to be smart about that, no matter what. So yeah, I mean, nothing. For me, it wasn't really about injuries coming back. It's about figuring out the things I need. I needed time to make sure I'm prepared and ready for the UFC. So and I think I got with I'm training with the New England Cartel now. I'm training with my teammates here in the basement. We didn't have the basement when that fight was going on. Right after that, we moved to the basement. So it's opened up a lot of time where I can hit pads and train down here and really get after it, and work with my boy Carlos too. Like working with him, he's a really good wrestler. He's actually from that area, from the Midwest too. He trained out in Montana and in that area. So Idaho, coming for you, Cruz.
Hey, what's up, my man?
We're covered down in all situations. They help me make sure I'm prepared and ready for these kind of fighters.
Excellent. Well, as far as coming off that last fight, was there anything that you, in your mind, had to work on, getting ready for, your next big opportunity?
Yeah, I think the main thing for me was defense. Obviously, right? I got hit a lot. Francis had really good hands. He's a really good boxer, so I think that was an obvious thing. And then my wrestling, right? I think that was the biggest thing. He was able to take me down, and even though I didn't get submitted and I got up to my feet every single time, I wasn't offensive with it. You know what I mean? If you're always thinking defense, it's not the best. Look at Cyril Gahn this weekend against John Jones. You know what I mean? Like, take it easy, buddy. Thanks, appreciate everything. So, yeah, look at Cyril Gahn and John Jones. Like, he was so defensive. Like, if John Jones was never scared about him, getting wrestled himself, right? And that just is a big part of the game. So, not that I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, you know what I mean? I've been doing jiu-jitsu forever, and I'm very comfortable in jiu-jitsu against the best jiu-jitsu guys. But MMA is different. There's position, there's staying on top, there's different things. And I just, I just put jiu-jitsu to the side for right now, and I just really focused and dove in on my wrestling, and I feel confident in my wrestling now. I feel like I can wrestle with anybody. So I think that's what I needed. I needed to feel like, not that I don't want to avoid, when I get into the ring. I don't want to be somebody that avoids any part of the game. I want to be up to speed and at the level in all assets of being a mixed martial artist, and that's what I really worked on. I feel very confident in my abilities now. So
Excellent. Well, it's been about 7 months since you were in that cage. Was there any other offers? Was there any thoughts of maybe fighting earlier than March 15th?
Obviously, I got anxious. I always get anxious in between fights, like, and especially when I see my teammates fighting, I want to get back in there as soon as possible. So, yeah, but there's a couple of, I mean, a couple guys got names got thrown at me, but like I wanted a good opponent, like which I've got. I don't want to go, fight contender series and then go back to fighting guys with losing records. You know what I mean? I really don't want that. I want to be a guy. I want to fight the top. I want to fight in the UFC. So I think that fighting guys with losing records is not the way to get there. I want to be legit. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I need to find the fight in the UFC. If I'm going to fight somebody I'm going to meet that's going to beat me, I got to figure out why that guy beat me and then fix it and then come back and attack again. I want to be legit. I want to be a top 10 fighter. So like, you know, yeah. There was a couple of names thrown at me, but nothing that really like I wanted. That made sense until this came up, and I just got really lucky with this show that's going on in Boston. Dana White going to be there. Like, what are the chances? Super, super happy, super lucky about it, and a good, tough opponent.
Yes.
This kid's fought 2 title fights. Got a lot of submissions. He's a very good wrestler, really good jiu-jitsu. He's not going to be a kid that's going to go away easy.
Yeah, that's true. Andrew Cruz, man, he's 8-4. He all his 8 wins. I think he has 7 subs, 1 TKO in there. I would imagine he's a big, big jiu-jitsu guy like yourself walking in there. He hasn't fought in about a year and a half. Do you know any circumstances around that? Maybe an injury, or he just couldn't get a fight going?
I have no idea. I have no idea. From what I've seen, it seems like he's pretty consistent in the way he moves and everything. So, but you know what? I'm expecting to fight a totally different person. I don't like to get. I like to watch a little bit of film in the beginning of my camp. I did weeks ago, months ago. Then I let my coaches deal with that stuff. So I have no idea. I know he's just got to deal with the best version of myself, and that's the main thing. So.
And what you talk about, you want the best version of himself also because it is in front of Dana White. And we know that Dana remembers who you are, man. Like you said, your former opponent is making waves in the UFC now. He had, a knockout in his debut, bro. As far
Yeah.
as the excitement, I mean, Combat Zone 79, a lot of your training partners going to be fighting on there. New England Cartel is heavily, heavily involved in that card. How excited are you to get on that card and maybe have not only yourself get a contract from Dana, but maybe a couple of your training partners as well?
Yeah, I really hope so, man. I really like just the with the New England Cartel. Like the room is awesome. We lately, especially we're getting a lot of guys. Chris Martino's been coming up. We got Tom Pax. He's really really good. He's been coming up. We've been training Rob Font and all these other guys that who've been training. His kid Hugo Marquez. He's a 5-time world champion, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu guy. There's just so much talent in that room, and it's like I want everybody to get a contract. It's just it feels like we're onto something. We don't really have a super gym up here in the Northeast. With like that level of guys, everybody kind of has to travel around. I mean, I'm still traveling like fairly far from it to train, but like this is the first time I've seen all the us get into the room consistently together. On a week like I'm Monday, Wednesday, Friday we're all training together. And now Tyson runs like a really, really good. I mean, he got Coach of the Year. He runs a really good practice, and I see now that I've been training with this guy, I see why Rob and Calvin, made it to top 5 in the world. So it's like I needed that, and I'm so happy and appreciative that I was able to get that. So yeah, I'm excited. We're all going to war together too. It's good. It's like good energy in the room. It's easy. It's fun to do stuff with the team. You know what I mean? It's cool to do it by yourself, go out there, but having a whole team of guys going to fight in the same night, it feels really fun. I'm excited.
Awesome, my man. Congratulations on all that work you're getting, bro. As far as this opponent and when you were matched up here, did you know that you were going to be, the half of the main event for this card?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that. I mean, I was just at first, I didn't really get my opponent until a couple of weeks ago. I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I was like 6 weeks, 7 weeks out, and I was like, I still didn't get an opponent. So I was like, wasn't even sure if I was going to get one. Um, so I was just sitting there waiting for a name to get tossed to me, and so I got it. I was like, all right, cool. And then I was thinking, all right, I'll be top. I was thinking I'd be top 3, top 4. You know what I mean? I think I'd be near the top because of my contender series thing, because my performance in my last fight. But I didn't think I was going to be main event. And then, because I thought Chris Matinho would probably take it over me since he fought in the UFC already. And no, they told me I was going to be main event. I was like, I'm ready. You know what I mean? I think it's because my opponent's tough. I think I
Yeah.
have a really good shot. I'm 5-1, fought a contender series, and I'm fighting another guy who's fought multiple title fights. He's number one kid in Idaho, so it makes sense. It's just I think the most competitive fight on the card.
Now, in your five and as far as your five regional fights in New England, is this your first main event?
This is my first main. Oh, I've had a main event as an amateur title fight, but yeah, as a professional, this is my first main event. Super excited about that. This is gonna be cool. I mean, at Encore Casino in Boston, like you can't ask for a bet. For me, like everything is lined up like so perfect. The way it's been going, like I can't like be like. First of all, St. Patrick's Day weekend. St. Patrick's Day is like my favorite holiday of all the holidays. I got Dana White looking for a fight or finding a fight, whatever it's called. Dana White's coming. I got Encore Casino in Boston. It's just everything kind of just came together, and I'm just super, super excited that like this is my show. And I feel like it's like, everything happens for a reason. Like that last fight was really, after I got, I mean, it wasn't demoralizing, but when you take a loss, taking a loss is hard, and then. To come back and just kind of not think about what the future really holds, how long that road is going to be before I even get a chance to fight in front of Dana event. When I went back to camp, I didn't know I was going to be like, oh, I'm going to be fighting in Dana in 6 months. I had no idea. So to get that opportunity is it's super rewarding. And I'm just happy that I put the work in that I did to be as ready as I am right now.
Well, as we know, you are a crowd pleaser, bro. You have a huge, huge fan base. When you fought for Dana, you did fight for, millions of eyes, but there was really nobody there as far as, fans and cheering for you. It's a small group of people around the cage there. How excited are you to be able to fight in front of the home crowd with so many huge, huge fighters on the same card?
I'm super excited. I can't wait. Yeah, a lot of my good really military friends are flying into town, so I'm excited. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, so I'm excited to see those guys and just all my everybody's coming out to support. I'm super excited to put on a show and potentially get that contract and just hang out with my friends after and just really live in the moment. I'm really really excited about it.
Well, as far as the fight itself, you got to be in front of Dana. You had a war, your last fight. Is this a fight that you need a finish in to, have Dana have no doubts that you belong in the UFC? Or would another war that went the distance, but a dominating war by yourself, be just as satisfying?
We want to avoid wars at all costs, right? I want to dominate. I want a dominant performance, and if that's a knockout, that's great. I love a knockout, but I'm prepared to go. Like you said, I'm always prepared for war, but I'm prepared to go the distance. But I just want to see the best version of myself, whatever it is. If I have to hit this kid in the head 1,000 times, and and he keeps walking towards me, I'm going to hit him in the head 1,000 times. But I want to dominate, not get hit, and show my skill, my talent, all the hard work of my years. I've been doing this shit since I was 5 years old. Martial arts since I was 5 years old. I got a lot of stuff. So a lot of weapons that I didn't really use in my last fight that I want people to see. A lot of movement that I get to show off, and I want people to see that part of my game. I don't care if he doesn't get knocked out, but I want people to see my actual talent and skill level.
Excellent. Well, a couple more questions, bro, before I let you go. You're down mom's basement now. You talked
Yes,
about
sir.
you didn't have that space at your last fight. We see all over social media a bunch of guys and girls in there training with you. I know Don Shanis came down here to train, get some work in for his last fight, man. How excited are you to be in mom's basement? That whole basement as at your disposal.
It's phenomenal, man. I love it. It's besides the fact I gotta go up to Lawrence. I spar in Boston, and I go to Lawrence 3 days a week. So I still spend a lot of time in the car. But when I'm home, I'm home. So I just walk downstairs and I get training whenever I want. I got bags in my house now, so I can hit the bag. it's just very convenient for that kind of stuff. Never mind just the fighters I have walking in the door. I got Andrew Valdina, I got Joe Poirier, I got Pete Luciani, who's been my coach, my stand-up striking coach, and me and him we've really made a lot of leaps and bounds in a lot of different things because of just the convenience of when I could train, how I could train, just having like for me, even when I come home from a day of hard training from up north, I get back and there's still guys in my basement training, so I can just like it's just I'm just immersed into martial arts at all times. You know what I mean? It's having mats right next to my bed, and I think it's huge advantage that I have. So I'm super lucky that my parents let me do this. You know what I mean? My gym closed down. I thought my be done. They're like, hey, why don't you just put the mats in the basement and see how it goes? And then it's kind of flourished into something that's I didn't expect. That's way better. So um, yeah, I'm super lucky, and it's been awesome. I want to keep growing it, keep up, see how big we can get this. Maybe eventually have to move out of the basement if it gets rolling big enough and everything. But for right now, for what I'm doing in my career is I'm focusing more as being a fighter. I don't want the stress of worrying about making rent to cover my gym and all this other stuff. So it's kind of easier right now to have what I have going, and so I'm just gonna keep this going and see where my career takes me.
Excellent. Do you still have kind of the new or novice trainees coming into the gym, or is it mostly seasoned guys that are fighting regularly?
No, I ran a class tonight with two brand new guys. I got some kids I do privates with. I was just doing privates for a while. I was stacking privates during the day while I wasn't fighting. But as I get closer to my fight, the privates kind of take a toll on your body, holding pads and all that, and it can put a lot of strain on me. So I kind of like just was like, all right, guys, let's just put everybody into a class, and that's what I'm doing right now. I got novice kids coming in for the class. And then I got like Carlos, who was just here. He's running wrestling, jiu-jitsu classes, or other fighters. So it's a combination of both, And then there's definitely certain days when we get in here where it's just like Valdina, me, Joe Poirier, Carlos, pros. You know what I mean? In here, like tonight, even there's like 3 or 4 pros in here training like any given night, and it's pretty awesome.
Excellent. Well, last thing, my friend, what do we expect to see from Connor Controller Matthews on Dana White's looking for a fight, Combat Zone 79?
You expect to see dominance. All right, you guys are gonna see my skill come out. You guys are gonna see a lot of striking. You know what I mean? Yes, I can wrestle. I can get there. I'm gonna fight back. No matter where this thing goes, you guys can see a submission. You can see whatever, but you're gonna see dominance. I feel amazing. You know, every part of me, like from mental to physical. I feel prepared and ready to show Dana White. I deserve to be a guy in the UFC.
Excellent, my man. Well, bro, good luck. Have a ball in there, man. We know you're going to perform, and we know you're going to get your hand raised in there, and Dana
Thank
White's
you.
going to be all over you, bro, and a bunch of your training partners. So, congratulations on the biggest opportunity to date for you, man. Last thing, shout outs, sponsors, social media, thank yous, anything you want to say. I know you may have a ticket or two to sell, streamed for people to buy. So throw it all out there, buddy, and I'll let you get going.
Yeah. First of all, just anybody who's listening to and you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. Let's go. Wednesday, March 15th, Combat Zone, Boston, Encore Casino. By the way, it's going to be the first fight in Mass. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the first fight in Massachusetts that you're allowed to bet on legally at the casino. So I'm the main event, so they're going to let you bet on the main event fight. So that's pretty cool. If somebody's into gambling, this is your time to go bet on a big fight. But sponsorships, you got the shirt on right there. Operation Vet Now, huge help for me always. So they've been sponsoring me from the beginning. I think since my professional career, maybe my first or second fight, and they've been huge support all the time. Go check them out. I got my father's business that supports this gym right here. So shout out to him, Coastal Legal. Avant, my brother's business, he supported me. He sponsored me to this fight. Triple Feed, We Go Home, and I think that's all of them right now. But One's Ready podcast. So I got a couple sponsors, military people who came in and sponsored me for this fight, and I really appreciate everybody who's helped me out. I'm super excited. I just want to see everybody there at the fight. Come on, be loud, and I'll put on a show for you guys. It's gonna be a good night.
Excellent, my man. Last thing, social media, other than, I get your Instagram handle down there, but is anything else out there you want to throw and have people come check you out?
Yeah, I just got some shirts that came out on controllermma.com, so go in there and check them out. I also have, that's it. I mean, I don't really use Twitter. I'm an Instagram guy, so the controller MMA on my Instagram, and that's about it, man.
Excellent. Well, if you need tickets, people, czmma.com. Use the
Oh,
name Matthews, right?
yeah, yeah. Hit filters if you guys are going on there and you're gonna put in my name or any fighters you guys are going to support. Make sure you guys hit filters or unlock um, fighters' last name. Type in their last name, no caps,
Excellent, my
and
man.
that's it.
Awesome, bro. Well, my man, awesome catching up to you for your
You
biggest
too,
fight to date, man. We'll be watching. I'll be here in the podcast room checking it out. We'll have a couple of guys from New England MMA around the cage, giving the play-by-plays, man. So congratulations again, my man. Always a pleasure catching up, and we'll talk post-fight and see what's next for you after that, all right?
Sounds good. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
All right, bro. We'll talk later.